Okay, so I want to get into something very important. Your duties as treasurer are over. And I know you're going to provide support for anybody coming in, but what should someone considering becoming the treasurer, what type of skill set would be most advantageous for them, and what advice would you give them?
Well, the first thing, the skill set is that you should have some ability in finance. Not necessarily being a CPA, but you have to know how a business finances work, and the importance of having a treasurer who's providing oversight. Treasurers, CPAs are generally cautious people. They're calm, cautious people. They're more risk averse than other members of the board will be. They'll be reminding the board members that spending money you don't have is not always a good idea. We're not like the government. We're not like the municipality. We can only spend the money that we have. Notwithstanding the mortgage that we have, but the mortgage is the mortgage, but you don't start making expenditures beyond your means, and that's something that I think is really important, and that's why we built up the capital reserve. So the treasurer has to have those kinds of understanding, but they have lots of support here as well. We have very good accounting staff in the office, and we have brought in another person who is a CPA who will provide support to the treasurer in terms of reviewing monthly statements and making sure that if there are issues, that this accountant will be able to explain it to the treasurer if the treasurer doesn't have it, and the treasurer reports to the board. The treasurer's job is one of, on a regular basis, in the summertime more frequently, there's a need to pay bills, and the treasurer would sign off on the checks. A lot of our bill payments now are done through electronic funds transfer and Visa payments, so that it's on a bi-weekly, monthly basis that the treasurer would review the Visa statements with the accountant and the bank statements with the accountant to look at the transactions that have gone through, and to sort of provide assurance that there's no odd transactions that are in there, and that becomes the job of the treasurer over the summer. And then as things come up for expenditure, there will be a business plan created for a capital expenditure. That business plan would be reviewed by the treasurer to make sure that it's thorough and we're not going to get caught with unexpected costs that hadn't been thought of. So that's what a treasurer does.
Well, I mean, that's a kind of a general outline, and so certainly, hopefully, someone out there is going to step forward and take on this very, very important role. It's a key position within the club, and remember, as we mentioned before, volunteers make this club go. Without it, we own the club, we run the club. So hopefully one of you out there watching will be able to accept the mantle of becoming the next treasurer. I just want to touch on one more committee that's kind of little known but very important to the club. It's called the Governance Committee, and I know you're not currently on it, but you ran it for many, many years. Tell us what the Governance Committee is, and why do we need a Governance Committee?
Well, there's two things with the governance committee that are really important. One is that as a member-owned club, we have bylaws, we have rules and regulations, and that we set up. And as a governance committee, one of the jobs of the governance committee is to regularly review the bylaws, the rules and regulations that are set out, policies that are set out, to ensure that they're consistent with, ensure our bylaws are consistent with our policies, or our policies consistent with our bylaws, one or the other. And if there is a need for a change in the bylaws, and it's not often that there is, but that if there is a need, that the governance committee can thoroughly look at those changes and then be ready to make recommendations to the membership. As is part of the bylaws, and you may know, members can get together, a group of 10 can actually propose a bylaw change, and that what we would want to see is if that was to occur, it would go to the governance committee, and the governance committee would then put it out to the membership so that the membership could understand it, and if there's a need for some kind of a meeting or something, that would happen, because the bylaw changes have to come in well before the AGM and have to be voted on at the AGM. You can't make a bylaw change at the AGM by standing up and saying, I want to change the bylaw. That's not the way it works. You have to give notice, the bylaw has to be published, or the change, and then it can be voted on at the AGM. So the governance committee has to do that. And the other thing that I would say the governance committee has to do is look at the minutes of the board and minutes of committees to make sure that what decisions they're taking are in accordance with the bylaws. And if there are decisions that have been taken that are out of step with the bylaws, then the governance committee should raise that with the board so the board can correct it.
Right. So it's a very important committee, especially for a nonprofit organization like us. Mike, is there anything else you'd like to add before we sign off? It's been a long interview. I'm probably going to break it up into two parts.
Okay,
so
you can do what you want, John.
but it's been an informative interview, and I really wanted to get out to the members. First of all, our financial situation, but also the need to come forward with someone come forward to accept the mantle of treasurer. But is there anything else you'd like to add?
Well, and you've made the point. This is a member-owned club, and the members need to be engaged. It's like owning your house. If you own your house, you don't say, well, I'm not going to take care of my house. I'm not going to make any decisions concerning my house. You're going to be involved in the decisions and taking care of your house. And that's what we want our members to be engaged in, taking care and taking the decisions associated with the golf club. We have professional management that do it on a day-to-day basis, but the members, we have great volunteers, we have a number of committees, we have board positions that are available. We have to take care of our house, and this is our house, and this is our family. We may not always agree, families are like that, but at the end of the day, we are the owners. We're the ones that are having fun here. Let's keep it that way. Let's keep it fun and keep it respectful for those that are trying to do the job for us.
Thank you very much, Mike. That's so important, the respectful part especially, because I know some people sometimes get frustrated with decisions, but we're all volunteers. We're doing the best we can. Mike, thank you so much. This has been such an informative interview, a very important interview, and thanks for your State of the Union. Good luck.
Thank you, John.
Play well today, my friend.
Yep, I hope so.
Mike, I'm probably going to have to break this up into a couple of interviews.